Hey guys, welcome back. Um, Figured it's been a while. I should probably upload something. And I just recently made this deck, which is a sort of in like an Arcana Knight Joker deck, like Arcana Extra Joker sort of deck, like this guy. And I was thinking that this archetype really needs some more support. Um, it seems like they're going back to some of the old cards and giving them like really good support lately. So hopefully this archetype gets some support as well. I mean Gaia the Fierce Knight and Curse of Dragon got support. I guess it'd be like Gaia the Dragon Champion got like really good support. So there's still hope, I guess. Anyways, I guess I'll just hop right into the deck profile. Um, I guess I should probably say before that is the main like win condition of the deck. I guess the main objective is to summon Arcana Knight Joker or Arcana Extra Joker generally. And if you can't do that, then just summon something from the extra deck generally, like most decks do nowadays. And especially with like Master Rule 5, a lot of decks have become like a lot more viable, which is really nice because Link summoning basically destroyed. Um, it I think destroyed about 50% at least, maybe 60% of like all decks, and then like maybe 10 or 20% of those. Um, like another 10 or 20% on top of that, were able to like come back and like change up their formulas for Link summoning. So it's pretty nice that the Astral 5 pretty much fixed that bug. Or I guess it's not a bug, it's more of a shitty feature. But anyways, just get into it, I guess. I'm running 2 Jax Knight. Um, you can run 3. I think 3 is definitely too much, so you really don't want to see this card in your hand. Um, and I think 1 is probably too little because like if you draw the 1, your combo is basically dead. Um, and there's no way of like summoning Jax Knight. Like, I mean, you can somehow get it to the graveyard, I guess, and then like Monster Reborn it, but that's kind of a waste in my opinion. So I think 2 is perfect. I'm running triple of the Queen's Knight. Um, you don't really want to see this card either, but it's not the worst thing that could happen because there is other options when you do like have this card. So yeah, I'm running 3. You could probably run 2 if you wanted to, um, but I like the 3. I'm running 1 BLS because I am running some darks in this deck and mostly lights. So he's a good boss monster in the main deck, and he's an answer and a bait for a lot of cards, which is pretty nice. And he can be searched out with Isolde. So, and I'm running triple of the I guess they're called Mech Knights now. I'm running triple of this Mech Knight Blue Sky. This card is amazing in any deck that has to do with like rank 5s. I run triple of this in my Pleiades deck as well. Um, and if you didn't know, Pleiades is like one of my favorite Link monsters. So yeah, if basically this card, if 2 or more cards are in the same column, um, you can special summon it in that column. Um, so if your opponent has like a back row and a monster in the same column, you can just special summon this guy for free, and now you have a 2,500 card, like 2,000 beater or like a 2,500 blocker basically. And he's really good because I mean this guy's also a light, level 5, so he's got a lot of synergy. Definitely 3 in the deck. You want to see this guy as much as possible because he is very good. And then I'm also running 1 overlay booster. This card's pretty good in my opinion. it's also another one of those cards that, in combination with the blue sky, he's an instant rank 5. And then like he has like utility later on as well, because you can banish him from the graveyard and pump your Xyz monsters, which is really nice. But I am only running the one, because he does need a monster with 2,000 or more attack to be able to special summon himself, and there's not that many in the main deck. There's basically just like this guy in BLS, but it is nice to have him for the combo. I'm running 2 Ghost Ship. I like this card a lot as well. It's another one of those, especially in a deck like this where there's a lot of light monsters. Banish a light monster and special summon it. I'm also running triple of this in my Pleiades deck, because, you know, the deck is all of light monsters. Even most of the extra deck in that, in the Pleiades deck is light monsters. And with Master Rule 5, the Pleiades deck just got like 10 times better. Like the Master Rule 4 kind of like, it didn't ruin the deck, but it definitely slowed it down. And the combos like Warren is like flashy, but Master Rule 5 has basically fixed that issue. So yeah, 2 Ghost Ship. You can run 3, but there's just not room, honestly. I've had to make some compromises, getting everything I want in this deck, because this archetype is not very good, and you need a lot of support cards to support it, basically. This guy is actually really good. Noble Knight Gawain. If there's a light noble monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. I.e., you know, Queen's Knight. If you have like a Queen's Knight and then a Gawain, you can just instant rank 4. I would run more of this guy again, but I just don't have space. I wanted to keep it at 44. I think the most I would ever go for like a if I'm not like going crazy with the cards, is 46. I think that's the most I'd probably go. Sorry, but I wanted to keep it at about 44. I like to keep my decks at about 44. It's hard to keep them at 40 nowadays, especially with like Link, because you need like Link engines and stuff. I guess it's not too bad anymore because Master Roll 5, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, just one of this guy. Again, no room. I would run like 2 or 3, but I'm running triple King's Knight. You want to see this card as much as possible. He's your main combo piece with Queen's Knight. Like, if you get Queen's Knight on the field at any way possible, and then you just normal summon King's Knight, that's an instant either Link 3 or a like 2 Xyz monsters generally, if you have like another level 5 in your hand that you can summon pretty easily. I really wish Jax Knight had 2,000 attack points, or like more. Like he's kind of he's one of those cards suffering from like early Yu-Gi-Oh syndrome, where it's like really really high level, but it has really low attack points. Like, you know, level 5s and level 6s back in the day had like 1,900, 2,000 attack points, and they were like normal monsters. So they just didn't even have a good effect or anything. And this guy really suffers from that. But like, there's nothing else to do. You know, like you have to have him for the combo. I just wish that there was other options. Like they really need to release like new versions of these cards with like similar effects, but like give these 2 effects and like maybe some more support cards and stuff, and maybe some synergies between the originals. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, triple King's Knight. I'm running 1 Honest because this deck is mostly light monsters with a like a small engine of Phantom Knights. Talk about that in a second. 1 Honest. I really like Honest. He's one of those cards that he could honestly be banned right now, but I feel like people don't play him because there's a lot better hand traps. I'm just like not a fan of hand traps really, like especially like Ash Blossom. I really hate that card. I think that card should be banned. It's it just does too much for what you like. You literally have to do nothing. You just have it in your hand, and if they want to do anything, basically like send a card to the graveyard, search their deck, banish from the graveyard, like you just like send it to the graveyard and negation, and you have to do nothing. You have to pay nothing. I think that's what Yu-Gi-Oh at this point is really lacking, is like a good cost for playing certain cards. Um, like you really should have to like discard like an extra card when you play it or something, because it's just really busted in my opinion, especially because like it's at 3. I don't think, is it 3 right now? I don't remember. It's like 3 or 2, but like even still, 2, people see it enough to where like, especially like not meta decks where you have generally one play or maybe 2 plays per turn, and if that play gets disrupted in any way, you pretty much lose. And I guess that's just the power creep, right? But anyway, one honest. I'm running 2 of the Ragged Gloves, 2 of the Ancient Cloak, and triple of the Boots. This is a combo or a like a set of cards that I generally use when I'm using these guys, if I'm not running like triple of each, because I do run triple of each in some decks. But I definitely triple of the Boots because this guy special summons himself for rank 3 plays, and then 2 of each of the other ones. You could not run the gloves if you wanted to, but gloves like dumps like the trap cards and anything else. And the cloak searches for the others. So if you need like the non-special summon guy or the special summon guy, then just have a cloak in the graveyard. You know, you can get one or the other. So definitely run both of them if you're going to run these guys. And then I'm running triple of this guy just obviously because he special summons himself and I want to see him as much as possible. So, and he's also good, like, you know, if you don't have a play, you can just set him, I guess, and, you know, get one of the trap cards. And I really like because this deck doesn't have a lot of protection against like destruction effects. It's mainly the trap cards for Phantom Knights, and they do a pretty decent job, but you know, that's what this deck is missing, so there's not a lot of stuff that does that. I'm running triple Unexpected Die. This card is pretty crucial in your combo. Otherwise, the deck is just way too slow. Obviously, the combo is you play Unexpected Die or one of the other cards in the deck. I'll talk about that in a second. And then you get Queen's Knight from the deck to the field. You normal summon King's Knight, and then you get the Jack Knight, and you go for like an Xyz play, or you poly into, or not Xyz play. I guess you go for an Xyz play as well, or like a Link play or a Fusion play. But yeah, this card is really good in this deck. This card is really good in a lot of older decks that need normal combo pieces, like normal monster combo pieces, in this deck especially. So yeah, definitely 3 of this. You want to see this as much as possible, because this, having these 2 in your hand, it can get you like a lot. Double instant fusion. I'm running, normally I'd run Panzer Dragon, but because I like Panzer Dragon better and he has an effect. But I'm running Guiltia instead, because he's a warrior, and you don't really need the machine in this deck. I'm running Panzer Dragon in my my Pleiades deck, because I can make Infinity, but there's no other machines in this deck really, so I don't need Panzer Dragon. But the warrior is nice for like for link plays, so I'm running 2 instant fusion. I would probably run 3. I just don't have space. Again, this deck is really crammed, and I don't know what I could take out. I mean, I guess I could go like take out the Honest, but the Honest is really nice against cards that like make it so you can't like they can't be destroyed by card effects or like targeted by card effects and stuff like that. So the honest is kind of nice. I don't know what I'd take out. This is it's like a new, this is the other card. This kind of like unexpected die. It's pretty new, I'd say. I think it came out pretty recently. It basically does the same thing, except you just reveal a fusion monster and then special summon one of the materials from your deck. And then you can only special summon fusion monsters for the rest of the turn. So, you get Queen's Knight with this, and then you normal summon King's Knight, get Jack's Knight, and then if you have a poly in hand, you can just poly up to the Arcana Knight Joker. So this card's really nice. One Raigeki, obviously it's a staple, like Monster Reborn and Reinforcement of the Army in like warrior decks. And then I'm running triple fusion conscription. This card's pretty much a staple in these kind of decks as well, because it's basically like another Rhoda. I can search out King's Knight from the deck, and he's one of the main combo pieces, and you really need him. I mean, even though you can't play him that turn, which really hurts, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about it because there's not a lot of ways to search and be able to play the same turn. I mean, even as sold, like if you were to use this effect to search for the King's Knight, and there's a lot of consistent ways to do that, but she has a similar effect where you just can't play it that turn, which really hurts. But the deck is slow anyway, so it doesn't hurt that much. But yeah, I'm running triple of this. You definitely want triple because aside from Reinforcing the Army, it's like the only way to search King's Knight, and you really need King's Knight. King's Knight is your main combo piece, obviously. I'm running double poly. You could run 3. You probably don't need to run 3 though, because you're not going to fusion something all that much. There's only 2 fusion monsters in the entire deck. I guess there's 3, but this one's summoned off of instant fusion. Yeah, and there's a way of searching poly, which is the fusion recycling plant. This card's really insane, honestly, especially in fusion decks, because it searches poly and then it gets back materials from the graveyard that you used to fusion summon, which is pretty awesome. So like this is also really nice. Like these two in conjunction are really nice. I would probably run like triple of this if I had space, but I mean, again, like it's very crammed in this deck, and I pretty much need everything that's in here. I mean, I guess I could take out some of the like level 5s, but just having a basic Jack's Knight on the field with nothing else is kind of bad. And if you get the combo off and you just you need like an ability to get over a monster that's bigger than anything you have, and maybe it can't be destroyed by battle or something, just having the ability to go for rank 5 is really nice. So I like all level 5 monsters. Yeah, I don't know what I'd take out. Anyways, I'm running 2 of the Phantom Knight Wings and 1 of the Sword. I was running like 2 of each, but I had to take some out because space. You could run like 3 of 1, or you could take out some other cards around them. But these are the main, like, protection, I guess, from destruction effects, because they protect obviously against destruction, and they're literally the only thing in the entire deck that protects against destruction, because this deck doesn't have a lot of protection against, like, especially card effect destruction. Like, it doesn't really matter if like this guy gets destroyed by battle because you just get some cards back. But yeah, these are the main protection. You can run like any combination of the Phantom Knight cards as you want, honestly. Like, I just like these ones. Move on to the extra deck now, I guess. I'm running 1 Arcana Knight Joker. Obviously this is the main boss monster of the deck. 3,500 attack points, which is pretty nice, and you can get it out pretty consistently. Um, not that consistently, but pretty consistently, like 60% of the time, maybe 70. I mean, one First of the Dragons, there is a decent amount of normal monsters in the deck, and especially if you can't find a King's Knight, and you've drawn like maybe both your Jack Knights or Jack Knight Queen Knight, something like that, and you have a poly or like a fusion recycling plant. This guy's really nice because he can't be destroyed by battle, except with a normal monster, and it's unaffected by other monster effects. So, and 2,500 or 2,700, I guess, is pretty big. He's also a dark target, so if he gets destroyed, then you can just use him to summon BLS. Obviously, I talked about earlier, I'm running the Guiltia because he's a warrior. One Utopia, the Lightning. This card's pretty good. You don't really see too many people running this card anymore just because it takes up 2 spots technically, because you need the regular Utopia to go into this guy. But yeah, this guy's really nice, especially because your opponent can't activate cards while he's attacking. So 2 Pleiades. You can probably take out 1 Pleiades if you want to, but I'm running 2 because I really like this card. It's like a good answer to basically any troublesome monster, like Beals. If they summon like Beals or something like that, like someone that can't be destroyed by card effects or battle, you can just bounce it back. If they like normal summon like a big beat stick, like a blue eyes white dragon or something, you can just bounce it back, and there's now they've lost that that advantage. He basically gets over a lot of the things that normally he shouldn't be able to get over just because of his effect, which is really nice, and he's pretty easy to summon, especially in a deck like this where you can get out a lot of like level 5 light monsters. But yeah, 2 of them. Yeah, obviously you could run 1 if you wanted to, and like run some other utility. But I like the 2. I'm running 1 Dark Rebellion. I was running this card originally, and then I took it out, and then I realized that Break Sword's effect needs dark monsters, and I wasn't running any like level 4 dark or rank 4 dark monsters in the extra deck. And so like I used his effect, and I just brought it back, and I'm like, oh, well, what am I gonna do with these guys now? And so I had to put him back in. I do like Utopia the Lightning better. He takes up 2 spots though. I like him better because you don't have to target the monster, and 5,000 is pretty hard to get over generally as like a standard attack. Man, I'm tired. Sorry, keep yawning. But yeah, I'm just running the 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, obviously the Utopia, Tornado Dragon, and Castell. These cards are pretty much staples in most decks that can make rank 4s, in my opinion. This card is really nice because I'm not running any back row control in this deck, really. The only other card that can destroy back row is probably Breaksword, which kind of sucks, honestly. Like, I was running a Zen Mayo, and this card's pretty good. I like this card as well because he just destroys 2 set cards. I mean, it does have to be 2, and they do have to be set, but it's pretty nice. You could probably run one of these instead of like one of the Pleiades if you wanted to. I was also running a Grand Pulse, but I took it out because I didn't have space. And I was running a second one of these originally, but I mean, I was only summoning like maybe 1 per game, sometimes not, and so it's kind of a waste to have 2. The only reason you might want to have 2 is just because if you summon it, you lose your target for Fusion Conscription and Fusion Dispatch. So, but it's just there's a lot of Xyz monsters that you can make in this deck, like 3s, 4s, and 5s. So you need the space. But I am running 2 of their Arcana Extra Joker. This guy's basically like Arcana Knight Joker. It's just he has 1,000 less attack points, which kind of sucks. But if he gets destroyed by battle, he has basically the same effect where once per turn when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated that targets a face-up card on the field, or a monster this card points to. Oh, I guess it does have a like similar effect, but I don't think Arcana Knight Joker has the point to effect, obviously, because it's not a link monster. And then you can discard the same type monster spell trap and you get the activation. And then when this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a level 4 warrior normal monster from your deck. And if you do, you can add a level 4 warrior monster from your deck to your hand. So if this card gets destroyed, you basically, you can get a Queen's Knight and then have a King's Knight in your hand because you search it. And then next turn you can just make another one. Or you can go for like a Arcana Knight Joker if you want to. So I'm running 2 because this card is pretty good. It's not anything like really good, honestly, because it has to target and there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't target. But I like it anyways. 1 is sold, and then 1 the Mighty Flame Swordsman. I'd say these cards are kind of staples in warrior type decks. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. I mean, this guy pumps all warriors by 500 points. He doesn't even need warriors to summon him either. And then when it's destroyed, you can special summon a warrior non-link monster from your graveyard. But it gets banished when it leaves the field. So that's pretty nice. And then this guy, obviously, I'm surprised this guy's not banned, honestly, because he just searches any warrior from the deck, which is really nice. I mean, you can't summon it that turn, but and especially its second effect, where you can just dump a bunch of equip cards from the deck to the graveyard, and then summon a warrior from the same level as the number of equip cards. That's pretty insane as well, especially for link combos and stuff, or even Xyz monsters. Like if you have another rank 4 or something, you dump a bunch of equip cards and get another level 4, and you make a rank 4, and now you have a rank 4 and this guy. That's pretty insane, especially on a 1 turn, because there's pretty easy ways of summoning this, especially in elemental heroes, because they can just spew out monsters like crazy. Or even Destiny heroes or Dark heroes, which have been they got huge bans recently. A lot of their pretty insane cards got banned. So I guess that wasn't recent. I guess that was a few months ago. But anyways, these are just cards that were taken out of the deck, the extra deck. Well, that's the end of the deck profile. Let me know what you think of it. It's still kind of a work in progress, but it's pretty final in my opinion. If you have any suggestions, let me know. It's really hard to make a deck for some of these old archetypes like this, or I don't know if you've seen my Dark Blade deck. I think I have a video on my channel. But that one is also pretty hard, and I have a similar formula where I have the Phantom Knights and the unexpected dies and stuff like that. But I have also a warrior or a dragon sub engine in there as well, and a union engine, I guess. I have that one union card that it's a spell card that lets you special summon union monsters. And mostly it's a pump deck where I pump my monsters like crazy. It's not that good, honestly. It's fun though. It's one of those decks where it's not anything competitive, but you could have fun with it if you built it. Same with this one. You can have fun with it if you build it. but it's not gonna win you any like championships or anything like that. These cards are just too old, and they don't have enough support that make them like competitive. Anyways, that's my deck profile. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.